Being a furry is great and all, but what do you mean I have to have a fursona? I feel like the biggest difficulty a lot of furries have entering into the community is in their hearts they feel like a furry, but on their skin they still look like a human. So I put together a little presentation today to show you all some of the important things that go into fursona creation. It'll take you through the steps, the artistic of how to do everything and be a really cool guy, really cool furry. My name is Rocket Fox. I'm a pink thing on the internet. You can also find me on twitch.television. And if you want to take a look at my art, I do physical oil paintings. Take a look at rocket-arts.com. That is rocket-arts.com. Anyways, let's get on with it. I feel so fun. Fursona design. Techniques and motivation. How to not make a proper fool of yourself on the internet. Because when you show up to the fur pack and you don't have the dankest sona out of your buddies, they're not going to invite you to the howl. What do we want? A fursona that looks good and represents ourselves. That's the goal. We want it to be visually appealing and represent ourselves. Here's what we're going to talk about today. Clothing as a social signifier. Fursonas as a social signifier. Composition, artistic. Fursuit considerations, because there are some things to keep in mind when designing a fursona, specifically apropos fursuit creation. Lore, we're not doing lore. Cross it off the table. I don't want to talk about it. I'm a visual artist, okay? Since time immemorial, man has been ashamed. We are naked, we are weak, and we cling to each other because we cannot survive alone. And I'm sorry, little guy, but you have to wear clothes. And people are going to judge you based off the clothes you wear. You can embrace this, or you cannot. Regardless, you'll be judged. We can learn a lot about a person from their clothes. Clothes tell us things about people. What about these people? What can we infer about them by the way they are dressed? What do we know about this man based off the thing he's wearing? Do you think maybe you know the job he does? What is the point of this all? We learn stuff about people from the way they dress. Now we're going out of the real and into the artistic. Milo, male merle, red collie. This is Mary Mears fursona. I'm getting friendly, wholesome, approachable and sweet, gentle, down to earth, and loyal. We have the collar, a symbol of domestication and loyalty. We have these naturalistic colors that are not too self-assertive, but it still is fairly vibrant for a realistic sona design. If I were to make guesses about this person, I wouldn't look at this sona and be like, they're a DJ, they wear a lot of flashy clothes. I think collies are herding dogs, which maybe symbolizes neuroticism. What Mir does for work is he's a professional interpreter for sign language. He'll do stuff such as go into schools or hospitals and help interpret between those who speak sign language and those who speak English. Mir himself, of course, is not deaf or hard of hearing, but he learned sign language at a young age when one of his friends in school was deaf and he wanted to communicate with him. So, overall, I think a very sweet thing to do, and showing a harmony between our portrayed friendly, wholesome, approachable, gentle, caring fursona and his actual personality. What are we getting from this freak's fursona? What are we seeing here? I did my best job to think of this sona as divorced from myself for this exercise. And I see this sona in the abstract as energetic, playful, bold, artistic, young and spirited, and mischievous. As some of you know, the specific lore of why I chose a pink sona was because I got freaking bullied by my family for liking pink as a kid. And in my head, I was like, I think fuck those guys. I want to be pink to show other, specifically men in the world, that there's nothing wrong with a little pink. The purpose of fursona design is to signal to other things about yourself quickly and effectively. This will be on the test. The purpose of fursona design is to signal. Fursonas are signals. Jingle, jingle. People act and react to your self-expression constantly and forever because we are pattern recognizing social creatures. You cannot opt out. Your options are to create no or weak signal. You could group that in with creating a bad signal, meaning you don't care about Sona as a reflection of yourself. You do a bad job of creating a reflection of yourself. Good signal is polarizing, and we want to polarize people early because it saves everyone time. One point of social signifiers is people who would like each other are able to find each other faster. What's that poem? I wore a mask to cover up my ugly blue face, and so did he, and so we never fucking talked to each other. The second option is to do the socially conducive thing and self-express with sincerity. Option 3 is lie. You can do an Anna Delvey. You can do a Hannibal. I'm not here to tell you which to pick. I'm just here to tell you what the options are. Water off a duck's back, what you pick. To me. But I just want you to understand the social science behind this, okay? We're going to talk a bit about art composition. If you're designing a Sona, jingle jingle, please just learn these 3 words. It's going to help you communicate art better. Hue, saturation, value. Hue, saturation, value. Hue is the color it is. Yellow. Yellow's a hue. Red's a hue. Purple's a hue. Hue equals color. Saturation. Does everyone know what saturation is? It's how much color there is. This is low saturation, and this is high saturation. High saturation, low saturation. Heads up, value is most important. You gotta remember, value is valuable. Value is how dark or light something is. So here it's shown in black and white. Here it's shown in black and red. All right, quick quiz. What's the most saturated color on Aegis? Where can we find the most saturated thing on Aegis? The eye. Although I will say, of course, it's hard to tell with dark colors just how saturated they are. The only thing that would maybe be a runner-up is like I would have to color drop and see how saturated. It's hard to tell how saturated darks are. But it's the eyes. The eyes are the most saturated. What is the least saturated color on Aegis? Yes, the white fur. This white fur is the least saturated. What is the highest, the lightest value on Aegis? And what is the darkest value on Aegis? The lightest value will be either this fur or maybe the eye highlight, and then the darkest will be, of course, the eye pupil, the eyebrows, the paw pads. These are the darkest things. Just looking at pure. If you were to put this image in black and white, what would be black and what would be white? This slide is about big, medium, small. This is something you should keep in mind when designing patterns on your Sona. It is good to use a rhythm, a smattering, a variety of big, medium, and small shapes in your patterns. Here in this leg marking, you can see we have this big, swooping line, and then we also have a little teeny tiny line right next to it. It creates visual interest. Having things different sizes, brings visual interest. Here also in this little calf marking, you can see that there's like this overall big shape, but then there's some like waviness. There's some smaller shapes inside the shape. And then looking at the color blotching, we have this large front color, whereas when we get to the toes, we have these smaller little deviations in color. The overall point: please use a variety of big, medium, and small shapes overall, and then also within your patterns. Okay, let's continue on the slide. In general, it's probably good to have the patterns follow or contour body parts, muscles, features. Value composition is most important. This is what your Sona looks like in black and white. This isn't technically always true because you could probably create like a pastel Sona where everything was the exact same value. But in my opinion, a good Sona will follow a good value composition. Colors should be harmonious. Disharmony should be intentional. Asymmetry can be attempted intentionally. 1 in 12 men are colorblind. Are you? it's good to know what color blindness you have, and you might request assistance from a sighted folk, maybe. Like, you don't have to, but like, consider it. Let's not fully saturate every color on our Sona. Probably. Let's probably not do that. It's just you're gonna look like Skittles if you fully saturated every color. Could do it, but like, I would say advanced danger. Let's not forget our Fursona has a behind, a backside, a rear view. Okay, also 4 colors is enough for most Fursonas. Can you go beyond? Sure. There's not really, but like for most Sonas, I'm gonna say at least 66%, maybe even 90. We don't need more than 4 colors. So of course, is it a rule? I can't. Oh, Rocket, my 5th color is super important. That's fine. That's fine. You're getting into the danger zone as you're complicating things. And then also work from big to small. All right, quick quiz. Who here's colorblind? I don't know which color blindness we're testing for with any of these, but if you can't see a number in all of these, I hate to inform you, but you are probably colorblind. For me, the advice I needed most is to simplify. Even now, I'll get into it. There's like too many unique visual motifs on my Sona. It's like you should have less than me in terms of unique patterns. Let's simplify. Let's be like John's smartphone and think smaller or something. Let's reduce the number of unique visual motifs. What's a visual motif? A recurrent pattern in an artistic work. Unique, I don't mean unique as in no one else has them. I mean the unique ones that show up on your Sona. What is one unique visual motif on me? Hearts. I've got like 13 different hearts on my body. I'd say all 13 of those are one visual motif. Hearts. Reduce the number of unique visual motifs. Why, idiot streamer? I'm going to be honest, I don't know, but I think we like the idea of structure, efficiency of idea, cleverness, harmony. We like things being harmonious, looking good together. Why? I don't know, man. We evolved to find things like trees, flowers, rocks, and tits beautiful, and those are simple things. I don't know why we like things to be simple, but just trust me, please. Here, beautiful art piece. Allegedly. And look, it's simple. Keep it simple, silly. Okay, but let's apply this to Fursonas now. What are some unique visual motifs on my character? Recurrent stacked horizontal lines. Here we have stacked horizontal lines, stacked horizontal lines, stacked horizontal lines. Then we got the hearts, heart, negative space heart, top incomplete, hearts on the hands, hearts on my little nose thingies. The heart is my most used visual motif probably. And then we got the little bolts. We have these like shapes coming off the little bolts like here, bolts here, bolts here, bolts coming off the eyes. All right, so these unique things are like the visual motifs we want to cut down on. The less, the better, pretty much. Please do not make your Sona as complicated as mine. And being so for real, this is after I simplified. So if you want to mess around with color schemes, there are 2 websites I recommend. If you want the basic version, you can look up Canva Color Wheel. But really, I would recommend looking up Adobe Colors and do the color wheel, because that one will let you do hue and saturation. And if you want to play around with different color schemes, to understand them, this is probably the tool I'd start with. We're going to look at some color schemes for Sonas now. Mine is like triadic, but it's triadic with yellow removed. It would be the blue and then the red and then yellow's removed. Here we have analogous color scheme. Except this one is actually a true monochrome color scheme, which is where everything's in a line. Here's another example of analogous or monochrome. Jingle, jingle. Here's a pretty good example of actual triadic. Pink, blue, yellow. Pink, blue, yellow. And the yellow is most desaturated. And here, guys, when I said earlier, don't be fully saturating all your colors. See, look how far away all these colors are from the edge of the color wheel at full saturation. And then here's split complementary or split complementary with one of them removed. since there weren't a lot of actual complementary. This yellow and this pink. This is actually true, pretty much split complementary. It's a bit skewed to one of the sides, but green, yellow, pink, that's pretty close. Here's another one. This is split complementary, but with only one of the split sides. This is orange and this is purple. This is a pretty cute Sona. All right. Some people want to have a fursuit. And if you want a fursuit, there are some things you might want to consider or alter with your Sona design. You should know that all white suits and all black suits are going to be hard to photograph next to each other. It's just hard to get the exposure right. Particularly all black suits are kind of hard to photograph. It's just how it is, man. Physics and stuff. Also, since I know many people, myself included, have sensory issues, where there's a color change is where there's a seam. And the seams will be touching your body, and the seams are not small. So this is the inside of a fursuit, and you can see that there's some depth coming off the seams. And of course, you'll probably be wearing Under Armour if you're suiting, but I did just want to mention that anywhere there's a color change, there will be a seam, and the seam will be touching your body. Also, seams are weak spots. So, I mean, you don't really have to design your Sona with this in mind, but I am just telling you so that you know. And probably most importantly, complexity is cost. That's complexity of colors, complexity of patterns, complexity of appendages. I'm talking horns, wings. I'm talking how many dang patterns do you got on you, and I'm talking how many different literal rolls of fur are going to have to be bought. These things cost money. This one you don't have to worry too much about, but you do have to get into the fursuit somehow. So there will almost certainly be a zipper on it. Mine, the zipper's at the front, and if you see fursuits where there's a lot of inch-long fur at the front, usually it's done that way. It's concealing a front zipper. Front zippers are nice because you can get in and out of it yourself. But it does mean you have to have like long fur at the front. And then also, we don't do white feet paws, and we don't do white dragging tails. We do this because things that touch the floor get dirty, and dirt shows on white extremely well. I put an asterisk here. You can, if you are some sort of psychopath and need it, you can do an all white feet paws. You can do a white dragging tail, but if it touches the ground, it's going to get dirty, and dirt shows on light colors faster than on dark colors. We don't do gradients. Okay, can you get a gradient fursuit? Kind of. You could buy fur that was gradient, but there's not really much of that in existence. More often what is done for gradients is airbrush. The airbrush, from what I know, is not waterproof, which means you can't wash your fursuit, which I do hate to inform you, you will at some point have to wash your fursuit. And then also, just in general, guys, please don't be getting dragging tails. It is a tripping hazard because all the other fursuiters have reduced visibility. I cannot see something on the floor if I'm in fursuit, and neither can anyone else. I'm like the Incredibles. No capes, no tails, no dragging on the. If you are kind of just like listening to me in the background and don't care too much, I think if there are two takeaways from this PowerPoint, the two most common mistakes are disharmonious colors and too many visual motifs on one design. I'll tell you, you don't have to simplify first. You can do what I did. You can make your Sona. You can think about it. You can let it simmer, and you can simplify later. It might be good to stick to a theme. For my Sona, which isn't very well themed, I was like, okay, computers, electricity, zigzagging shapes with weight. Weight and direction on the shapes. It's coming off the face. Okay, this concludes the PowerPoint. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe or you'll never see me again. And if you want to catch me live, I will be live at twitch.tv/RocketFox, 7 p.m. Eastern, Mondays and Wednesdays. And also, feel free to leave a comment if I missed anything that is important to you. I feel like a lot of different things go into Sona design, and I've come at this from the artistic point of view. So, if you have any questions, type them.